Hi, Aries. Welcome. So, Aries, this is going to be a reading. I'm going to start with the spiritual general messages, and then I'm going to go into the you versus them love reading. And yeah, my readings are timeless. I just trust that whenever you find this, that's when it's for you. So, let's get into it. Aries, when I was meditating to prepare for the reading, I was getting the Hierophant, in particular, Taurus energy. Some of you could be connecting with Taurus or have that in your chart, or you could be on the cusp, and or it could be highlighting that time frame. But what I'm really getting from that message was, you know, like elevating your spirit, right? Doing the right thing by what feels best to you, right? Not necessarily by other people's standards or opinions, but what would best serve you. It also talks about relationships and commitments. And I also got the World card when I was kind of playing around with the deck before I started, which talks about, things coming full circle. It talks about success. It talks about luck and feeling on top of things, which is wonderful. So let's get a little bit further and get some cards out and see where this is headed. The Seven of Wands came out while I was talking there. And the Seven of Wands talks about challenges. So, you may be facing some challenges currently or during this time frame, but it's nothing that you can't get over, Aries. It's nothing that is going to stop you completely from making progress in your life. But, when life gets challenging, that is an indication, right, of where we need to ease off a little bit, where we could go with the flow a little bit more, be kinder to ourselves, give ourselves a breather, a time off, a break if you need it. Some of you really need a break, just from life in general or work or maybe a difficult situation, to just kind of soothe yourself, recollect yourself, right? So maybe taking some time off for yourself would be advised, Aries, or removing yourself when things are feeling tense is a good idea. But let's see what else we have coming through. The Ten of Cups, which is highlighting the home. Okay, there also might be some challenges going on within the home environment, and the same advice goes. And or you could be finding solace in your home environment. Say if you're facing a lot of challenges out there in the world or at work or wherever, So take it as it resonates, and let's go a little bit further. I'm going to get some Osho Zen cards and see what else we have coming in for Aries. The Outsider, Thunderbolt, and the Fool. Now this is interesting. Look at that card depiction. This is feeling left out, feeling alone, feeling isolated, feeling like you don't belong, right? The Thunderbolt is the Tower, okay, in traditional tarot. So it's about, endings, beginnings, changes. It can be a very erratic, though, like, things that you didn't see coming happening, or a turn of events that seems sudden, or, things of that nature. But what it results in is a new beginning. The Fool. This is your card, Aries, the Fool. A chance to start again, okay? So what seems like may not be working out for you, Aries, may actually indeed be working out for you. And in fact, that's almost always how it is. It's just perspective, though, right? Because it's easy to start focusing on what's going wrong when one thing goes wrong, and then it seems like it's one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. And really all that is momentum and law of attraction, because once one thing goes wrong and you focus on that and you beat it to death in your mind and you try to wrap your mind around it, and then you talk to your friends about what went wrong, and then you search for it maybe on social media, and now you're giving all of your focus to it until guess what happens? Inevitably, always, the second shoe drops, something else goes wrong. And now you're talking about that. And the more you talk about that, that's why when they say it rains, it pours, it doesn't have to be that way. But the power of your mind, or I should say, the laziness or the inability to focus differently, is what causes that downstream effect where it seems like, oh my gosh, what else could go wrong? And it's like, well, endless things, really, until you decide you've had enough, which is usually what happens, and decide no matter what, you're not going to focus on it anymore, and you're going to feel good, and then boop, the tide changes, right? And then all of a sudden things start settling, the sun comes back out, and some people would call it a miracle, when all that really happened was a change of focus, right? So when one thing goes wrong, you know, and the Buddhists used to teach us, you bless it and you say, thank you for that indication of where I've been focused. And now I know to focus elsewhere, or to focus on something more positive, or the silver lining of that. And therefore, the bad luck stops, right? So where in your life can you apply that principle, Aries? Because I feel like that was a really important message for you to hear. But let's go a little bit further and see what else we've got coming through for my Aries. And I switched it up. I'm using new cards today. Aren't they pretty? I don't know if you can see them. Ooh la la. Okay, the Queen of Materials, which is the Queen of Pentacles in the traditional tarot deck. The Hanged Man. And there is the Page of Wands again. So I feel a little bit of like a rebellious streak as well coming through here. And look at the colors of these cards. So the Queen of Pentacles to me is all about business, you know, and sticking to their guns, and is sometimes a bit immovable, right? But there's a change in perspective in that. And I feel this is you, Aries. And that change in perspective actually frees you up to be a little bit more easygoing and free-spirited. So essentially what it's asking you is, where in your life can you be a little less rigid? Could you go with the flow a little bit more? Because I feel like, you know, there's some sort of blockage here, or like resistance showing up, where you could maybe soften up or ease up. And it could be, you know, related to, again, home and family and relationships. That's being highlighted. But it really could be, I'm also getting, for a lot of you, what it's more so about is how you talk to yourself, your personal relationship with yourself. Where can you be nicer to yourself? You know, where can you be your own best friend? Because I'm getting a lot of like negative self-talk, or like beating yourself up, questioning yourself. Questioning yourself is kind of the opposite of trusting yourself, isn't it? And doesn't it feel so much better when you trust yourself versus when you doubt yourself, right? But sometimes doubt can show us areas where maybe we need to shore ourselves up a little bit more. Maybe where we do need to practice trusting ourselves a little bit more, and trusting our intuition a little bit more. So there's that. But let's go further and see. The Two of Wands, Six of Pentacles, and the Four. I love that this deck calls the Wands inspiration as opposed to wands, because I feel like there is a lot of inspiration coming through here, and you know, in kind of a forceful way though. Like, it's not the most comfortable way, and I feel like there are challenges being presented to you. But you can ride the wave, Aries, however you want, right? And I think that's why I got that message about be careful where you're giving your focus to, right? It's easy to go down that downward spiral when one thing goes wrong and we can't let it go. So where can you let something go? Where can you see the benefit in it? You know, and if you can't, can you just leave it alone for a while in your mind or in your self-talk? I feel like there's something new here on the horizon, right? And the Six of Pentacles to me is a return on investment. And that return on investment is coming through your friendship circle, the people that are there for you, your support systems, your friends, you know, people that have your back, right? So I feel that you're not alone in this, Aries. You have either a wide support network or people who want to be here for you. And if anything else, if nothing else, the energy seems to be stabilizing around whatever it is you have going on. So let's go a little bit further then for my Aries. The Star, the Fool, I love this. So what starts as a quite challenging reading, right, with maybe some unexpected twists and turns here, actually ends up being a really inspirational story. Like the Star is hope and faith being renewed. It is also a sign of healing, okay, and wish fulfillment. Next to the Fool, which is your card, so it's about new beginnings and starting over, but not really starting over. I don't like that word. Starting a new pathway, okay, for yourself. And then the Nine of Pentacles is like, to me, look how satisfying that is. Like, this is somebody knowing their worth, not afraid to be themselves, not afraid to embrace who they are. So I feel like you're on like this healing pathway, Aries, where through like trial and tribulation, or through this challenge, whatever it is that you're going through, it's transforming you, you know, from the inside out. And the law of attraction is responding to that by kind of giving you back what you've been giving, in a positive sense, right? You know, the right people or the right support system showing up here. Hope, you know, for the future. Some of you are getting new ideas also about things that you want for yourself in the future, whether that be money-wise, career-wise, or within a relationship. And something here is also coming full circle. And I feel this is in what you're committed to and or your committed relationships, okay? So, wow, a lot to think about here, a lot to digest. Let's see what the guidance cards have to say, and then we're going to go into the you versus them love reading. Oh, if I can get the card off the floor. Okay, it's card number 33. I can find harmony by feeling for improved thoughts. If we were contemplating an action that caused negative emotion, we would not proceed with that action until we resolved the negative emotion. We would make sure that we had come into alignment with Source before proceeding. By feeling for an improved thought, in time, and usually in a short time, you will feel the harmony of your Source, and you will know the appropriateness of your behavior. We would not look for a long list of right and wrong, but instead we would feel for the emotion of alignment and then take the action. Solid advice. Okay, so wow, we are going to now go to the you versus them love reading. I'm going to clear my energy and clear the cards. Stay right there. I'll be back in just a second. And welcome back. All right, so Aries, now we are going to go back and forth between you and the person you may be connecting with. Keep an open mind. The person you may be connecting with, yes, may be your intimate partner or an ex, but it doesn't have to be. It could be family member, friend, coworker, you name it. Keep an open mind. And let's get into it. So Aries, your overall energy is the Three of Cups. Seven of Pentacles. I'm going to keep these to the side here. Knight of Pentacles. And what is that? 10 of Pentacles. So your card is all about celebrations, reasons to celebrate, get together with friends, a very social type of card, but it also talks about reunions, reconciliations, and things coming together on an emotional level. Your person has the card of the Seven of Pentacles, which is all about vision and what they've envisioned for themselves in the connection and or just in their life in general. And the two cards that are binding you, that's what I feel when I see these, is about trust and support. So very interesting. But let's go deeper and see. We are going to look at recent past, what led up to the now. most likely outcomes, and how you both feel underneath it all. So let's see, recent past energy for Aries. 7 of Swords. The Lovers and the Star card. So there could have been some things going on behind the scenes here, Aries, or at least in the past. The 7 of Swords is not my favorite. It's a little bit of like a sneaky type of vibe, right? And it's next to the Soulmate Twin Flame card, if you believe in twin flames, and the card of hope and healing. So it may be that you have healed these issues. It could be trust issues that you have just in general or with this partner, or that you're wanting to heal something within the connection during this time frame. But I feel like all that's hidden will always be revealed. So remember that, you know, for some of you, it's just something as simple as like hiding your feelings, you know, or this person doing that. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like for some reason this still lingers, like trouble showing emotion or hiding emotion or things of that nature. I don't know if that's a problem between you and your person, or, you know, that's a problem you've dealt with in the past or past relationships. I'm not very sure, but I'm picking up something around that. So let's see then where your person has been in the recent past. The High Priestess, the 8 of Swords, and the Moon. I feel like, Aries, your person, it could be them that has the repressed like emotions or something, because this is them trying to tune in and get answers and get into alignment. But, you know, their mind is kind of their own worst enemy. So it's serving as a blockage here, because it's like trying to get into a good feeling space and then letting your fearful thoughts or insecure thoughts or whatever get the best of you. And then before you know it, now emotionally you're feeling overloaded or overwhelmed, and everything just gets a little convoluted and messy, right? So I feel like, at least in the past, this person has had trouble being able to contain maybe the emotion, and, well, actually I think they contain it just fine. Tame it, that's the word I want to say. They've had trouble taming their own internal dialogue to some degree, all right? Or their own like emotions. So let's go a little bit deeper and see. We are going to look now at how you both perceive each other in the now. 4 of Swords, 6 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. So, Aries, this is showing up in your perception, okay, of the connection. I feel a lot of you have laid something to rest, okay, left the past in the past, or at least you're attempting to do that, because this is more about smooth sailing, going into the future, you know, giving and equal give and take within the relationship, or within what you are willing to do for each other, or how you express yourselves, right? The Knight of Cups is a very emotionally expressive energy. So I feel on your part, at least, like that there's a calming effect here. I don't know if you have a calming effect on this person or they have that on you, but it's like, okay, I've forgiven, or I've laid that to rest. I no longer dwell on something. And that's actually helping things to move forward. It's a more positive way to think and to see the connection, and I feel like it's paying off for you. Or you at least want that, if nothing else. So let's see this person's perception then of the connection. Ooh, 2 of Swords, 3 of Cups. This person doubts themselves a lot. I don't know if they have like some major insecurities going on, or they just have a bad habit of always questioning themselves or how they feel. This is about union here, this card, and having a positive outlook, right? That things will progress forward, and yet holding stuff in. holding things back, being closed off to some degree. And I feel it on this person's side, but again, it could be on your side because it's a general, it could be interchangeable. But there's a blockage here, right? And it's about opening up or unwilling to open up, right? But, you know, it's really sweet because what I'm also getting, though, is like they hold you near and dear to their heart, though. You know, um, yeah, okay. let's go into the love of love. Let's go into the heart space then and see how are you feeling underneath it all. Aries. I almost called you Gemini. Some of you are dealing with a Gemini. Ace of Wands, Nine of Wands, Three of Pentacles. You're looking for reasons to feel good, right? I feel like you're looking for inspiration. You want satisfaction. Ooh, I got really dizzy right there. Okay. Okay. I almost passed out. Don't watch that back and see what happened. Okay. Anyways, and I've never passed out in my life, so that was a really bizarre feeling. Anyways, okay, sorry. Yeah, I feel like there's a sense of inspiration here to feel good, to be in a good feeling space, to cooperate, to build something here with this person or work together, okay, if nothing else. So I feel all positive, both in the way that you're thinking, but also the way that you're feeling. Let's see, this person, their heart space, Judgment, the Five of Swords, the Empress. I was going to say it. This person, they judge themselves too much. Or they have a bad habit of just not being very nice to themselves. Or it's interesting because I got that they would consider themselves a good judge of character. Not saying that they aren't, but the judgy nonetheless. I can't get around that. You know what I mean? Like, especially if this is an earth sign. Like I just feel like in their heart that they're at the same time, like they're beating up on themselves about something here and like being too harsh on themselves. And that may actually be translating to being harsh on others or God forbid you. When in reality, what's happening is that they're feeling their own dissonance. They're feeling their own separation from their good feeling self, which is who they truly are. And it's palpable and it's frustrating and they need to maybe relax a little bit. I feel like this person gets really wrapped up in their mind, you know, and then they get overwhelmed because they entertain too many negative or worrisome or doubtful thoughts, right? And you know, so they could use a little bit of love and care and nurturing, maybe from you, but from mainly from themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I think most people, when they hear the term "take good care of yourself," they think, "Oh, I need more water intake or vegetables or water." I already said water. Exercise, you know. But the true meaning of that is take good care of how you speak to yourself, about yourself, regardless of your diet or how you look or what you're choosing. How do you talk to yourself? Are you kind to yourself? You know, I think we're taught from an early age to almost humble ourselves, aka believe we are less than or not worthy. And that is so ingrained in our human society that it's almost a stretch for people just to simply be nice to themselves and to believe in themselves and that they are worthy, you know? And so I think like what this person struggles with the most is really, if you boil it all down, is a sense of worthiness. I'm not talking about from you either. I'm talking about from themselves, right? Because I actually see you in a positive space, or you're seeing them in a positive way. But, you know, we can influence other people with our kind thoughts about them, but ultimately they must do the work of also believing that about themselves. So let's see, most likely outcome or trajectory. Where is this headed? There's the Three of Swords, Four of Wands. So there's some sort of disappointment here, Aries. It's showing up within either the union or within the home or family. And I'm getting the song She Knows. Oh, She Knows. So take that from what you will. I feel like that's more so talking about you. Like you already, like you know what to do, or you know what's up, or something like that. What the hell is this about? See that? Why am I feeling so dizzy right now? Ugh. Do I need some water? Hey, Aries, don't put a smiley face on an empty gas tank, if you know what I mean. Like, if you see that the gas tank is empty, fill it up. But don't just put a happy sticker over it and keep driving anyways. And that's an analogy, obviously. But some of you, yes, go fill your tank up. But what I mean by that is, don't pretend to be happy when you're not happy. That's called toxic positivity, right? That's like, or making yourself enjoy something or feel something that you don't truly feel, right? Because you have different varieties of emotional responses for a reason, and they all indicate something else, right? So if you're trying to put a happy sticker over, say, a broken heart, you're not going to fool the law of attraction, you know, because the law of attraction knows how you feel, and it doesn't really care so much what you say. It just follows the vibration. So you could say, I'm good and I'm happy and I'm looking at the best, but in your heart know that you're worried, and the law of attraction will only respond to the worry and not the words that you say. That's why I think it's funny, or I shouldn't say funny, but there's a really fine line when it comes to positive affirmations, because you must do positive affirmations only when you truly believe them and you are in a positive mood. If you try to do a positive affirmation when you're in the gutter, you are literally just amplifying that you're in the gutter even more. It doesn't work like that. You just got to accept you're in the gutter. Acceptance is key. Allow yourself to have that bad feeling in that bad moment. Go to sleep and then try again the next day. But don't force yourself to put a happy sticker over an empty tank. Because I feel that that is a possibility here, or something that you become accustomed to, or that you do, or maybe it's the person that does this. But internally, I feel like there's actually a lot going on emotionally that either you haven't acknowledged, maybe even to yourself, but it's coming. But your intuition knows how to stabilize you, Aries. And there is the sun here, which means that your rainy day will not last long. There will be the sun yet again. What is this person's most likely outcome? Eight of Cups, Knight of Cups, Temperance, So I actually feel like this person, they kind of overwhelm themselves, and then they get all in their head and maybe in their emotions or whatever. They dwell, and then they can't take it anymore. They have enough of that. So they finally decide, okay, I'm just going to leave that alone, get myself back in balance, and proceed. And they go into the Knight of Cups, which is a more loving, harmony-filled space. And then Ace of Pentacles, a positive manifestation occurs for this person, but it's after a struggle, right? Some sort of struggle here on a vibrational or emotional level. And then it kind of evens out. And then it's like, oh, I'm okay, you know, and now I'm ready to have fun, or I'm ready to have love in my life, or make a commitment or something of that nature, right? And it's funny because in the beginning of the reading, this person was kind of on the more unstable side, and you were stable, and then I feel like it's getting a little rocky over here, and then this person stabilizes. So just in time, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting change of events, we'll say that. Although I do want to say you still do land on the sun. Okay, so whatever this hurt emotion is about, I feel like you'll be guided out of it just fine. Okay, but let's see what the guidance has to say for Aries. Card number 55. Everything is always working out for me. Nothing ever goes wrong, because every piece of contrast, no matter how wrong it seems to be, is always helping you to clarify what it is you do want. And that is the thing we want you to remember most of all. The contrast, no matter how it looks in any moment, is contributing mightily to your expansion. The things that you call things gone wrong in your life are actually only the distance between the things that are so right and your current perspective about it. That is all that your whole spiritual reading was about, that card. Yeah. And I noticed that you had 33 in your spiritual and then 55 in your love reading. So very interesting. Ooh, all right. We're going to leave it there for now. Aries. Zodiac signs you may be connecting with, by the way. I've got Leo here. Sagittarius, Aquarius, Gemini, Taurus. Taurus again, Capricorn, Leo again, Pisces. Yeah, those are the primary signs I'm seeing. Keep in mind it is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future content. And thank you guys for getting me to 180,000. Yay! I was very excited about that. I celebrated on my Facebook, and I actually did a reading over there on my Facebook, so check it out. Tarot Time with Dana is the name of all my social media accounts, but they're also linked in the description box and in the About section. But otherwise, wishing you guys the very, very best. And until next time, my friends, namaste.